Anna, a spirited young woman from a wealthy family, finds herself caught in a dilemma that feels as stifling as the luxury surrounding her. Her parents, fixated on tradition and status, are constantly pushing her toward suitors from affluent backgrounds. Every date, every introduction, and every social gathering is carefully orchestrated to match her with the perfect man, wealthy, influential, and acceptable by her family's standards. Yet, these men seem to lack depth. They're focused on flaunting their wealth and power, oblivious to genuine connection. Anna dreams of a love that transcends money and status, but she feels trapped by her family's expectations. One evening, after a heated conversation with her mother, Anna hatches a rebellious plan. Determined to show her family that love isn't measured by a bank balance, she decides to bring home someone her parents would never approve of, a man without wealth, influence, or pretense. Her idea is outrageous, maybe even risky, but she feels exhilarated at the thought of breaking free from her gilded cage, if only for a moment. Her gaze lands on Nicholas, a man who looks down on his luck, standing at a street corner. His clothes are worn, his hair unkempt, yet there's a quiet strength in his eyes, a calmness that stands in stark contrast to the flashy suitors she's used to. With an impulsive boldness, Anna approaches him and makes an unusual offer. What starts as a small act of rebellion sets the stage for a journey that will challenge her understanding of love, wealth, and self-worth in ways she never anticipated. Anna strolls through a busy city square, her mind racing with thoughts of her audacious plan. She spots Nicholas, a man who appears to be homeless, leaning casually against a lamp post. His clothes are old and worn, and he's got a rugged, unshaven look. Despite his rough appearance, there's something intriguing about him, a quiet confidence that she can't quite place. Intrigued, Anna approaches him, sensing he could be the perfect person to shock her parents out of their rigid expectations. As she gets closer, Nicholas looks up and meets her gaze with calm eyes, seemingly unfazed by her presence. She introduces herself with a disarming smile and, without much preamble, makes him an unexpected offer to spend the evening with her, attending a high-profile dinner her family is hosting. Nicholas initially scoffs at the proposition, suspecting it's some sort of joke or a misguided act of charity. He tells her he doesn't need her money and has no interest in playing games with spoiled rich girls. Anna, unfazed, raises her offer, trying to appeal to his sense of adventure rather than his wallet. She explains that she doesn't want a companion for his wealth or status, but simply someone who can shake up her family's expectations. Intrigued by her sincerity, Nicholas considers her proposal, finding her earnestness oddly refreshing. After a bit of back and forth, Nicholas agrees, but with one condition: she has to give the money to his friends who need it more. Surprised by his humility, Anna agrees. As they leave together, she feels a surge of excitement, unaware that this encounter is about to transform both of their lives in ways they never imagined. Anna and Nicholas make their way to a luxury boutique downtown, drawing curious glances as they walk through the polished glass doors. Nicholas looks out of place in his worn clothes, but he walks with quiet dignity, unfazed by the stares. Anna feels a surge of excitement, imagining her parents' reaction when they see Nicholas transformed. She knows they'd never expect her to bring someone like him to a family event, and that thrill of rebellion drives her forward. Inside the boutique, Anna urges Nicholas to try on a few outfits. At first, he's hesitant, clearly uncomfortable with the extravagance around him. But as he changes into the first suit, something shifts. The once rugged man emerges from the fitting room looking like a completely different person. Gone is the scruffy, down-on-his-luck appearance. Nicholas now looks poised, his lean build highlighted by the tailored suit that fits him perfectly. Anna is taken aback, realizing he could easily pass for one of the wealthy suitors her parents have always paraded in front of her. Nicholas catches her staring and chuckles softly, amused by her reaction. "I look like a new man, don't I?" he jokes, still a bit uncomfortable with the change. Anna nods, trying to hide her surprise. Beneath his quiet exterior, she senses a depth she hadn't expected, a strength and charm that might even intimidate the guests at her family's event. For the first time, Anna wonders if her plan will work a little too well. This homeless man now looks like he belongs in her world, and a strange mixture of admiration and curiosity grows within her. With every glance he gives her, she begins to question if her assumptions about him were wrong. And Nicholas, dressed as a gentleman, feels a shift too, as if the lines between their worlds are starting to blur. Anna and Nicholas arrive at the upscale restaurant, where her friends are already gathered at a private table. The setting is elegant, with soft lighting and polished silverware, and her friends are impeccably dressed in designer clothes. As Anna introduces Nicholas, her friends exchange skeptical glances, eyeing his presence with thinly veiled judgment. They try to hide their surprise, but their raised eyebrows and forced smiles make it clear they're questioning Anna's choice of company. The conversation starts off polite, with the usual small talk, but it quickly becomes apparent that her friends are trying to dig into Nicholas's background. One of them, a man named Daniel, leans forward and asks, "So, Nicholas, what do you do?" Nicholas hesitates, choosing his words carefully, but responds calmly, mentioning a bit about his past work without revealing too much. Another friend, Lisa, can't resist a subtle jab, saying, "Anna, you always find the most interesting people to hang out with." Anna catches the condescension, and her face tightens, but Nicholas remains composed. As the meal progresses, Nicholas begins to turn the tables, subtly shifting the conversation back onto her friends. He asks them pointed questions about their lives, their dreams, and even their values, surprising them with his insight and wit. It's clear he's no ordinary man, and the more he talks, the more uncomfortable her friends become. They're not used to being questioned, especially not by someone they see as an outsider. By the end of the dinner, Anna's friends are visibly uneasy, their superficial facades shaken by Nicholas's thoughtful, grounded presence. Anna, watching quietly, feels a growing respect for him. Nicholas has shown a side of himself that's confident, wise, and grounded, a stark contrast to the people around them. She realizes that bringing him here has already challenged not only her friends' perceptions, but her own as well. When Anna and Nicholas arrive at her parents' grand estate, the tension in the air is palpable. The sprawling mansion, with its marble floors and crystal chandeliers, feels colder than ever as they step inside. Her parents, elegantly dressed and exuding an air of superiority, are already mingling with other well-to-do guests. They catch sight of Anna and Nicholas, and her mother's expression shifts from pleasant to horrified within seconds. "Anna," her mother hisses, pulling her aside, "what on earth are you thinking bringing him?" She casts a disdainful glance at Nicholas, who stands confidently nearby, unfazed by the surroundings. Her father approaches, his face stern. "This is a family event, Anna. We don't need charity cases causing a scene." His voice is a low, controlled anger, but Anna is undeterred. She firmly introduces Nicholas, explaining that he's her guest and deserves respect, challenging her parents' snobbish remarks with surprising confidence. As the evening progresses, the tension between Nicholas and Anna's family escalates. Her father, feeling his authority challenged, decides to confront Nicholas directly. "So, what is it that you do, mister?" he asks, his tone laced with sarcasm. Nicholas meets his gaze without flinching and calmly replies, mentioning his past with humility, but without groveling. The guests around them listen in, intrigued by this unconventional scene. Anna's mother tries to step in, pulling Anna aside once more. "You're embarrassing us, Anna. You think this is a game? Parading some stranger here?" But Anna, her patience finally worn thin, speaks up, "I brought him here because he's real. Unlike all the suitors you've pushed at me, he values people over money. Maybe you should too." The crowd falls silent, and Anna's parents are left speechless. For the first time, Anna feels liberated, standing with Nicholas as an equal, defying the rigid world her parents represent. And Nicholas, standing by her side, feels a warmth he hadn't anticipated, a genuine connection rooted in defiance, courage, and a shared belief that love is worth more than wealth. Just as Anna and Nicholas start to feel some relief after the tense family encounter, a new presence emerges: Andrew, a wealthy and entitled ex-suitor of Anna's, who her parents had once favored. Tall, polished, and used to getting his way, Andrew strides over, his eyes narrowing as he takes in Nicholas's calm but composed demeanor. Smirking, Andrew says, "So, Anna, this is the man you chose to bring instead of me?" Nicholas remains silent, his face steady, but Anna stiffens, sensing the impending confrontation. Andrew's voice grows louder as he seeks to humiliate Nicholas. "Do you even know who you're standing beside, Anna? This man," he sneers, gesturing to Nicholas, "has no money, no connections, nothing to offer. He's nothing but a charity case." Nicholas, undeterred, finally speaks up, his voice steady and controlled. "Money isn't the only thing that matters," he says, looking directly at Andrew. "Sometimes, a person's worth isn't tied to a bank account." Andrew laughs, his expression shifting from amusement to frustration as he realizes Nicholas won't be easily rattled. But Andrew has one more card to play. Leaning in close, he whispers to Anna, "Reject me again, and I'll buy your father's company, piece by piece. I'll drive it into the ground, and when it's worthless, your family will be begging me to take them back." His threat sends a chill down Anna's spine. She glances at Nicholas, feeling a renewed determination as he meets her gaze, reassuring and unflinching. Anna turns back to Andrew, defiant. "I don't want you or your money," she declares. "If my family chooses to support someone like you, then I'd rather stand on my own with someone who values integrity over wealth." With those words, she steps back to Nicholas's side, the decision made. Her heart races, but she feels a deep, powerful clarity. Andrew, defeated and humiliated, walks away, his attempt to intimidate them failing. In that moment, Anna realizes she's finally free from the clutches of superficial expectations, standing alongside someone who values her for who she truly is. As the night unfolds, Anna can't shake the feeling that Nicholas is holding something back. He has handled every judgmental comment and condescending glance with a calm confidence that seems at odds with his supposed background. Her curiosity grows, and when one of her friends, now slightly tipsy, blurts out, "Wait, aren't you Nicholas Flamel, the millionaire who gave away his fortune?" Anna's jaw drops. Nicholas shifts uncomfortably but doesn't deny it. With a sigh, he looks at Anna and decides it's time to be honest. "Yes," he says quietly, "I was Nicholas Flamel, the millionaire." Anna's shock deepens as he explains. Years ago, he inherited a significant fortune, but after watching people around him focus on his wealth rather than his character, he grew disillusioned. Friends became distant, family relationships strained, and he realized that even love seemed conditional. Feeling trapped by expectations, he chose to walk away from it all, giving most of his wealth to charity and living humbly to discover who he was without money. Anna listens in awe, realizing that Nicholas's rejection of wealth wasn't because he lacked ambition, but because he sought something deeper, a life not defined by money. He admits that he initially found her proposal amusing, seeing it as a chance to observe her world and the people in it. "But tonight," he says, meeting her gaze, "you surprised me. I see someone who isn't blinded by wealth, who values people for who they are." Anna's heart swells with admiration and empathy. She understands now that Nicholas has been searching for genuine connection, just like she has. Together, they realize they have both broken free from the constraints of society's expectations. In that moment, Anna sees Nicholas not as a man with or without wealth, but as someone who shares her values, someone with whom she could build a future grounded in sincerity and mutual respect. As the evening winds down, Anna and Nicholas find themselves standing alone on the balcony, overlooking the city lights. After the tension, the confrontation, and Nicholas's startling revelation, the night feels strangely peaceful. Anna's mind races with everything she's learned. She gazes at Nicholas, her heart pounding as she realizes just how much she admires his courage to walk away from a life dictated by wealth, just as she longs to escape her own. Just then, her parents appear, their faces a mixture of anger and disbelief. Her mother's voice is sharp as she says, "Anna, enough of this nonsense. Do you realize how humiliated we feel? You've embarrassed us in front of everyone important in our lives." Her father joins in, urging her to think practically. "You need stability, Anna. Security. This man can offer you nothing." Anna, feeling the weight of her parents' words, but also the strength of her own convictions, takes a deep breath. She looks at Nicholas, who meets her gaze with silent support, and turns back to her parents. "You're wrong," she says firmly. "Nicholas has given me something you and all of your wealthy friends never could, a sense of real connection, a chance to choose happiness over status." Her father, visibly frustrated, delivers an ultimatum. "If you walk away with him, don't expect anything from us. No inheritance, no support." Anna's heart aches, but she knows what she has to do. "I'd rather live a life I've chosen than one where I'm just a piece on your chessboard," she says, her voice steady despite the sadness in her eyes. Turning back to Nicholas, Anna reaches for his hand, a symbolic gesture of defiance and commitment. Nicholas, humbled by her courage, gently squeezes her hand, understanding the significance of her choice. He whispers, "Are you sure? This won't be easy." But Anna smiles, a soft, hopeful expression that melts his last reservations. "I don't care about easy. I want real," she replies. Together, they leave the mansion, stepping into the cool night with only the stars above them. For the first time, Anna feels truly free, unburdened by her family's expectations. Walking beside Nicholas, she feels a warmth that transcends the material comfort she's always known. Nicholas, too, feels a quiet sense of fulfillment, as though his long search for genuine connection has finally ended. In that moment, they realize that love, trust, and shared values are worth more than any fortune. And as they walk away, hand in hand, they embrace a future defined not by wealth or status, but by a commitment to live authentically, together,